Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. Selamat pagi semuanya. I'm Wilza Setiana. What a beautiful day. Welcome back on our program today, Cerita Khatulistiwa. Selamat bergabung kembali bersama kami dalam program Cerita Khatulistiwa. But before that, I want everyone to stand up to listen to our national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia, tanah airku, tanah tumpah darahku. Di sanalah aku berdiri, jadi pandu ibuku. Indonesia, kebangsaanku, bangsa dan tanah airku. Marilah kita bersatu, Indonesia bersatu.
Hiduplah tanahku, hiduplah negeriku, bangsaku, rakyatku, semuanya. Bangunlah jiwanya, bangunlah badannya untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia, tanah yang mulia, tanah kita yang kaya.
Di sanalah aku berdiri untuk selama-lamanya. Indonesia, tanah pusaka, pusaka kita semuanya. Marilah kita mendoa Indonesia bahagia. Suburlah tanahnya, suburlah jiwanya, bangsanya, rakyatnya, semuanya.
Sadarlah hatinya, sadarlah budinya untuk Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia, tanah yang suci, tanah kita yang sakti. Di sanalah aku berdiri, menjaga ibu sejati.
Indonesia, tanah berseri, tanah yang aku sayangi. Marilah kita berjanji, Indonesia abadi.
Selamatlah rakyatnya, selamatlah putranya, pulaunya, lautnya, semuanya. Majulah negerinya, majulah pandunya untuk Indonesia Raya.
Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, tanahku, negeriku yang ku cinta. Indonesia Raya, merdeka, merdeka, hiduplah Indonesia Raya.
Thank you. Please be seated. Next, let's start our program. Cerita Khatulistiwa. Today's topic is Flora and Fauna in Indonesia. But before that, I want to inform you that you cannot crossing out or scribbling the presentation slide today, okay? Oh, sorry, it's not today. I mean every day. Okay, now please welcome our professor, Professor Anto. Professor Anto, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Wilza. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Salam sejahtera. It's good to see all of you again today on the third episode of Cerita Khatulistiwa. Now, before I begin, I'd like to make a quick note about the national anthem that we all just observed. Uh, Indonesia Raya was written by a composer named Wage Rudolf Supratman. He actually wrote three stanzas of our national anthem, just as you listened a minute ago. But for a long time, we only played the first stanza only. Since 2017, we're trying to reintroduce and play all three stanzas of the national anthem. Let me begin. By saying or reintroducing again what Cerita Khatulistiwa means. Cerita is an Indonesian word, bahasa Indonesia, meaning story. Khatulistiwa means equator. Fun fact, the word Khatulistiwa is actually derived from Arabic, Khatulistiwa, meaning line at the same level. Cerita Khatulistiwa means story of the equator or story from the equator, actually stories, because I've been sharing stories from um, our country, Indonesia, that lies on the equator, the blue line in the middle that you see. So in today's episode, um, I'm gonna share some stories about Indonesia's flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. There's so many plants and animals in Indonesia. Uh, uh, a few even very unique, as you can see here in the picture. We have Sumatran tiger, we have Komodo dragon, we have orchid, and many more. Orangutan, Rafflesia arnoldi, the largest flower. I'll be talking about that, and a number of birds. Um, but before I begin introducing some of the very, very interesting plants and animals, I want to mention something about this British explorer, and now we call him scientist. So he traveled in Indonesia. Well, there wasn't Indonesia at the time yet, but he traveled in the archipelago and observed many interesting animals and plants as he was traveling. And then after he completed his travel, he wrote this book called The Malay Archipelago, The Land of Orangutan and the Bird of Paradise, a narrative of travel with studies of man and nature. Now, his book was printed and published in Europe, and many people really like reading the book because it contains a lot of drawings about the animals that they've never seen before or they've never even heard before. And the same guy, Alfred Russel Wallace, noticed that in Indonesia, when he traveled, the animals and plants can be grouped into two big categories. Um, and he proposed a line, and now it's called Wallace's line after his name, just east of Bali, dividing through the strait and goes up to Borneo, Kalimantan, and Sulawesi, as you can see here, the bold blue line. One group belongs to what he called Asian plants and animal, because the animals and the plants in the west of this line. They're similar to the ones found in Asia, but the animals and plants east of that line are similar to the ones found in Australia. Why is that? Well, because long time ago, uh, the islands of Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan were all merged with the mass continent of Asia, and Papua, Sulawesi, Maluku, and the East Nusa Tenggara Islands were, sort of part of Australia. So the animals can move, but then there was a ice melt, a big ice melt, and the sea level rose, and Indonesia is now separated by many different islands. But the animals remain the same within these two groups. Another scientist, T.H. Huxley, later modified the line a little bit, as you can see here in the dotted line, to include the Philippine archipelago, flora and fauna found in that islands to belong to the same Australian family of flora and fauna. All right, so let me illustrate Wallace's line by introducing you the first fauna of Indonesia, one bird of paradise. So the Latin name of this particular species of the bird of paradise is Paradesia rubra. In bahasa Indonesia, it's called burung cendrawasih. Burung cendrawasih. Now, this is one of the many birds of paradise found in Tanah, Papua. There are about 40 species of different birds of paradise. I'll share a really nice video with you to show the many different species in a bit. But burung cendrawasih is quite famous in Indonesia. So famous, in fact, that at one point, the bird appeared on one of Indonesia's money, paper money, an old 20,000 rupiahs bill, as you can see here. Okay? So this bird on this money is actually the same bird that you can see on the other image here, and it's called burung cendrawasih. Now, where can we find burung cendrawasih and other birds of paradise? Well, in Tanah, Papua. This is a map of the province of Papua. And remember from last month when we talked about the many different languages in Indonesia, I showed this map, if you guys remember, and the many different colors indicate the many different languages spoken in Papua, okay, hundreds of them. So the same thing with languages, there are also many different birds that you can find in Papua. Okay, so this is a picture, a diagram of some of the species of the birds of paradise, and the blue dots on the map of Papua, as you can see here, both in Indonesia's Tanah Papua and also in the country Papua New Guinea, where you can find many of these birds. Okay? So there are many varieties of birds of paradise, and let me play a really nice video so you can see these birds and also hear the sounds that they make.
Anak-anak, sekarang kami sudah di hutan kita. Kenapa kita mau datang seperti ini supaya kalian tahu ke depan kita.
Indonesia's land of Papua, Tanah, Papua. Consisting of 2 provinces, Papua supports one of the only remaining large tropical forests in the world. With the Amazon and Congo basins, these forests serve as the lungs of the planet. And in Papua, they are the lifeblood of the people.
Okay. You can watch the rest of the video on YouTube, and I will share the link towards the end of Cerita Khatulistiwa today, okay? But I want to move on because we have so many flora, plants, and so many animals in Indonesia that I want to share. So going back to my slides here, we talked about Tanah, Papua, and the many different species of the birds of paradise. If you want to study birds, you can. There's a scientific discipline called ornithology, okay? And one place for you to go and study to become bird expert or an ornithologist is the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. This is part of a Cornell University in the United States. And I happen to have gone to school there, and I visited the Lab of Ornithology. I even learned also how to watch birds. So there's a book here, if you can see, that I received when I visited the Cornell Lab of Ornithology. This small book, it teaches you how to watch birds. And once you learn how to watch and record birds' sounds, take pictures of the birds, you can go to Tanah, Papua, which is in Indonesia, to study or capture images and sounds or videos of the many birds of paradise. Next on the list today is Komodo dragon. This is the world's largest lizard. You cannot find anywhere else other than in Indonesia. The scientific name of Komodo dragon is Varanus komodoensis. It's a cold-blooded reptile. They can be found mostly in these 2 islands called, also one of them called Komodo Island, and Rinca Island in East Nusa Tenggara province. They became known to science after a scientist, a Dutch scientist, studied and observed them and reported about what he saw in 1912. Some Komodo dragons, not all, can even climb trees like monkeys. So here are some photos or pictures, images that I took from 3 different National Geographic magazines. One picture is from its August 1927 edition, the other one from September 1936, and this third one here, a Komodo dragon on a tree, is from the December 1968 issue. So in the first picture here is it's a sort of like a weird picture. It's Komodo dragon when after it dies, and it becomes like a deflated balloon, as you can see. Okay? And in the second picture is when 2 Komodo dragons smell their food. They eat carcasses of goats and monkeys, rhesus monkeys, and other animals that they can find on the island, like deer. So they're carnivorous. They're meat-eating animal, reptile. And I want to show you a clip from Planet Earth 2, one of its episodes that shows stunning video of Komodo dragons in their habitats. Okay, so let me share that video with you.
The island of Komodo in Indonesia. Home to dragons.
Okay, so there you go. That was a clip from an episode of Planet Earth 2 showing Komodo dragons fighting to get their food, which is a carcass of goat.
Is the Komodo dragon a mammal?
No, Komodo dragon is a reptile. That's a good question. Komodo dragon is not a mammal. It's a reptile. But they eat some mammals, such as deers, monkeys, and goats. Any other questions? That's a very good question. Okay. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to raise your arm or hand, and I'll try to answer them, okay? Oh, Alexandra? Yeah, go ahead. Alexandra, do you have a question?
Actually, I'm telling you that in the video, the one who was looking for food, I saw the subtitles. It said, this Komodo dragon isn't even looking for food.
Because they don't eat every day. They eat, once a month even, because one meal would be enough for them to last that long. That's how Komodo dragons eat, different from us. We need to eat every day. Gerardo?
Where do Komodo dragons live?
That's a very good question. This is what I'm going to talk about next. So where do Komodo dragons live? They live in this 2 islands in East Nusa Tenggara. So there's an island called Komodo here, east of Bali, a couple islands over, or west of the island of Flores. Okay, so there is a Komodo National Park in that island. You can go and visit that island and watch Komodo on that island, but be careful, okay? You don't want to become meat for the Komodo dragons. It can also, you can also find some Komodo dragons in a few other islands, including in Rinca Island over here, next to Komodo. But for sure, they live in these 2 islands. So it's a sure bet. If you visit Komodo Island, the Komodo National Park, you'll be able to see Komodo dragons. Now, if I zoomed out the map a little bit, you can also visit, if you plan to travel there one day, you can also visit Pulau Rote. Now, if you remember from the first episode of Cerita Khatulistiwa, Pulau Rote is the southernmost island in Indonesia. There is a market there that opens twice a week, right? If you remember. And you can also visit the island of Timor. So you can go visit the Komodo Island, and then you can do island hopping. Go visit Pulau Rote, and from Pulau Rote you can go to Pulau Timor. So what's interesting in Pulau Timor? Well, many things, but one of them, if you remember from the second episode, there's a language called Bahasa Tetum, okay, Bahasa Tetum, that is spoken in both West Timor and also in East Timor. So you maybe want to visit all three places to see Komodo dragons, to see the market in Pulau Rote, so you can say to everyone that, oh, I've been to the southernmost island in Indonesia, and also learn a few phrases in Bahasa Tetum. So to answer your question, Gerardo, it's they live in Komodo Island and also Rinca Island. Now I want to talk about orangutan. Okay, English speakers say orangutan, but you know we call them orangutan. Okay, they can be found in two islands mostly in Borneo. There's one species there, Pongo pygmaeus, and in Sumatra there are two species there, Pongo abelai and Pongo tapanuliensis. Orangutan is bahasa Indonesia, means people of the forest. These orangutans have been studied extensively by many researchers. One pioneer of an orangutan researcher, her name is Dr. Birute Mary Galdikas, and I'll talk about her in a minute. Yes, Alexandra, go ahead. You have a question.
Even orangutan sounds like orangutan.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually from the two words orang and hutan. Orang means people, hutan means forest. Okay, where can we find them, or where do they live? Well, as you can see here on this map, these are orangutan homes. Yes, they many of them live in Borneo, both the Indonesian part of Borneo and also the Malaysian part of Borneo. No, they don't live in Banda Aceh. They don't live in the city. Banda Aceh is the city. I think they prefer to live in the jungles, and I'll show you why, because they love the jungle. They can also be found in Sumatra, northern Sumatra here. And the third species recently found or recently reported, the Tapanuli orangutan, they can be found here, also in northern Sumatra, but in an area called Tapanuli. Okay? So this is some news headlines that show or report the discovery of the third species of orangutan, the Tapanuli orangutan. And there are only about 800 of them, not many. Okay, they've been hiding all this time, so scientists couldn't really find them. So when scientists found them, scientists were really excited and happy, and they decided to tell the world. Unfortunately, though, they're in danger of losing their homes. So we're trying everything we can so they can still stay in their homes and live in the jungle.
Of course, simple. Just ask the people and companies not to cut the trees.
Yeah. So this is an image of three species of male orangutan. This is the male Kalimantan or Borneo orangutan, Pongo pygmaeus. This is the male Sumatran orangutan, the northern one, and the one that we have known for a long time, Pongo abelai. And this is the male Tapanuli orangutan, or Pongo tapanuliensis. Yes, Alexandra, go ahead.
Oh, I'm so surprised that why do they have their hairy beards like that?
Oh, they have their hairy beards because they have facial hair. Okay, so they decided to grow their facial hair, their beard. They don't want to shave them because they don't have barber shops in the jungle. Got nail?
They kind of look strange. Why?
How strange?
Their faces.
Yeah, their faces look a bit strange, and actually their faces are one distinguishing feature between the three species. The male Kalimantan orangutan, the faces curve a little bit, but the Sumatran one kind of flat. Okay, as you can see in this image. Joan, go ahead.
Why do their faces look round like a plate?
Yeah, like a plate. Why? Well, that's how orangutan male, adult male, looks like. Okay, that's what is it?
Do female also look like that?
No,
The females are different.
no,
They're smaller.
no. Yeah, that's a very good question, John. No, the females don't look like this. I forgot I forgot to include photos of the female orangutan, but that's a good question. But the females, no, they look different from the males one. I just want to show these three different male photos to show that there are three species of orangutans. Adzkia.
Are they mammal?
Yes, they're mammals. That's a very good question. So Komodo dragons, are they mammals?
No.
What are they?
They're reptiles.
Okay. Orangutans are mammals. Komodo dragons are reptiles. Very good. Alejandra?
What made them endangered?
Oh, what made them endangered? The orangutan in Tapanuli, the Tapanuli orangutan are in danger because their homes are about to be flooded. There's a plan to build a dam.
Eric said to me,
Yeah.
What does female orangutan look like?
That's a very good question. I should have included a photo of the female orangutan, but you can find a photo of female orangutan on the internet. It's really easy. It's really easy. So let me call Anita and Audrina.
I want to do the drawing lessons.
Anika and Audrina, do you have a question? No? Okay. So let me continue. Okay. So hopefully the Tapanuli orangutan won't lose their homes.
Human deforestation.
So I want to talk a little bit about these three female scientists. They're called primates because they study three different types of great apes. They're all primatologists.
Oh.
The first one over here, this is Dr. Jane Goodall. She studied chimpanzees in Tanzania. The second one here is Dr. Diane Fossey. She studied gorillas, also in Africa. And the third one here is a photo of Dr. Bairuti Marigaldikas. She studied orangutans for decades because she loves studying orangutans and she has learned many things about orangutans. Fatih, do you have a question?
I heard that Dr. Jane Goodall can speak her name talking like chimps.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure about that. Maybe, yeah. I'm sure because she studied chimps for a long time. She learned some of chimps sounds as well. Maybe. I'm not sure. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that if you love studying apes and monkeys, you can become what it's called a primatologist, a scientist who study primates. Okay? Like these three wonderful, brilliant female scientists, Dr. Jane Goodall, Dr. Diane Fossey, and Dr. Gairute Marigaldika. And Dr. Galdikas has written about her adventure living with orangutans, studying them in National Geographic magazines, like you can see here in the October 1975 issues. And here, there are photos accompanying her article that shows the orangutan playing or doing something interesting. Okay. Like for example here, there's a photo that shows orangutan playing with a dog, asking a boy to play with him. And then here in another magazine edition, June 1980, you can see that on the cover picture, a baby orangutan and a human baby playing in the same small bathtub. And the small baby, Binti Paul, was actually Dr. Galdikas' son. So he was born in the jungle and grew up among orangutans. John, you have a question, go ahead.
Do orangutans also have like 5 fingers?
Yeah, they have 5 fingers on their hands and also on their feet. But their feet are really special. They can use their feet to climb with both of their hands and their feet. Let's see, somebody else has a question. Atskia? Atskia?
No, it's
okay, Gadniel? Go ahead, Gadniel.
Like actually, I know some things like that, like monkeys. The human evolution from monkeys to humans.
No, it's not from monkey to human. No, that's not
No,
correct.
that's like what people believe.
Yeah, no.
That's what the science believe.
No. Great apes and humans have a common ancestor.
Yeah.
Yeah, great apes and humans have a common ancestor. That's what, yeah. Not monkey from human. Jane? Jane?
What did they eat?
What do they eat? All right, that's a good question.
They eat plants.
They eat plants. They like to eat bananas.
They eat durian. They eat durian.
They're like monkeys or what?
They like to eat.
They eat durian.
It's obvious. They're like monkeys. They eat bananas.
Like fruits. They like fruits and bananas. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question and then I'm gonna show you a video of baby orangutans. Okay, learning how to crack coconuts. So let's take 2 questions from Stefan. Go ahead, Stefan.
Orangutan. Why does orangutan eat other things?
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't hear your question, Stefan.
Other things.
Can you type your questions in the chat? All right, so
You said, does orangutan eat things?
Oh yeah, orangutans eat
bananas.
Orangutans eat bananas and other fruits. I'll show you in a small video. All right, I'm gonna call.
Why do orangutans eat bananas?
Yeah, I'm gonna call Denzel and then Alexandra. Go ahead, Denzel.
How long do they live?
How long do they live? That's a good question. I think they can live up to adulthood. I'm not sure how long they live. Maybe up until 30s and 40s years of age.
On Google.
Yeah, you can search up on the internet, and I would encourage you to do that if you want to learn more about orangutan. Alexandra?
The thing is, I'm confused. If they eat plants, if they eat fruits and bananas, they're herbivores. But in other books they say they're omnivores.
Because some orangutans also eat meat.
Like fish, maybe?
They eat ants.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Those are really good questions. I'm really happy to hear them. Again, like if you want to learn more about orangutan, I suggest that you go and look for these answers online. But I want to move on because I want to show you two plants. But something that I want to also tell you before I play the video clip, Dr. Birute Galdikas has written and published these 3 books. So you might also want to get these books and read them, so you'll know more about orangutan. Or maybe even better, go to the Tanjung Puting National Park in Kalimantan, and you can watch and maybe interact with them. Okay, so I'm gonna play this clip. It says Orangutan Jungle School, and you'll see how baby orangutan learn how to crack coconuts. Hold on a second.
Stop laughing.
Is it nonsense?
So there you go. Yes, they're so cute.
When the video is on,
Okay, so moving on, I want to share two plants. One is called Rafflesia arnoldii. This is the world's largest flower. Okay, it is named after Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles. He was a British explorer, statesman, and founder of Singapore, the country near Indonesia. So he liked to travel, and one day when traveling, he saw this flower over 100 years ago, and then he reported it, and that's why the flower is named after him. In Bahasa Indonesia, this flower is called bunga padma, or lotus flower, because it looks like a lotus when it blooms. And when it blossoms, it only blossoms for a few days, and then they started to decay and rot, as you can see. So it started off as a bud. As you can see here in the picture, and then it blooms into flower, and then it decays and rots. They smell bad, but there's another flower also can be found in Indonesia that it's even stinkier than Rafflesia arnoldii. Yeah. I'll show it to you.
Kak Anto?
Yeah.
Do they even attract flies?
Yes, they attract some flies. Okay. So I'm gonna play you another video here that show this flower in the region of Sumatra. Let me do that.
I'm in West Sumatra, Indonesia. For the last week, I've been searching for the giant Rafflesia blooms of the jungle. I've been sending out guides and porters in all directions to see if they can find any buds developing. Unfortunately, all of them have come back without any results. But just last night, a local contact said there's one Rafflesia in bloom. And it's not any old Rafflesia, it's Rafflesia arnoldii, the biggest of all the Rafflesia, the largest of the genus, and the biggest flower on Earth. And it's in bloom just over here. And here it is. Wow, look at the size of this flower. You can see it consists of 5 petals that are bright orange and warty. This is meant to resemble carrion. And inside it's got hairs like a dead corpse of some animal. And this immense size and the smell. It smells a little bit like rotten fish. That smell, the colour, this attracts carrion flies and other pollinators. But the bloom itself lasts for only about 6 to 7 days, then it dies and rots. It's a parasite. It has no leaves. It consists of a fibre of tissues inside a vine called the tetrastigma vine. And once in a while, it blooms. There may well be other buds in development in this forest. So let's go look for them. I can see it. Wow. And this is the developing Rafflesia bud. This one is perhaps 6 months old, so it's got another 3 to 6 months to go before it gets to full size, ready to open. This is the tetrastigma vine, the host plant that it parasitizes. Here it is going all the way up there. It's absolutely incredible to think that this small vine can produce enough energy to support the biggest flower in the world.
So there you go. That was Rafflesia arnoldii. Rafflesia arnoldii. And they can be found mostly in Sumatra, here, the western part of Sumatra. But they can also be found in Borneo as well. But your best bet is to go to Sumatra. John, go ahead. You have a question?
How big can the flowers get?
Oh, it can get really, really big, as big as 27 inches. That's the number that I remember. 27 inches is 69 centimeters. Okay, almost centimeters. It can be really, really big as when I stretched my 2 arms. Okay?
Really?
The world's largest flower. Atskia?
So I can get inside. I can get inside.
But
I have a question.
Yeah, one at a time, please. One at a time. So I'm gonna call those who raise their hands. Atskia, go ahead.
Is the flower rare?
The flower is quite rare. It's really difficult to find, but not impossible. But it takes a long time for the bud to develop and then to bloom. But when the flower blooms, it only blooms for a couple of days. So you have to be quick if you want to see the flower bloom. After it blooms, it starts to rot or decay, like you can see here, because the flower is actually a parasite. You know, it lives off of another plant. It cannot support itself. It lives off of another plant. That's another.
I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do the flower have poison?
No, the flowers don't have poison. No, it's not poisonous. Alexandra?
I actually don't have a question. I accidentally clicked on the...
Oh, okay, it's fine. Okay, all right. So let's move on. We watched this video. Now, this is the last flora, the last plant or flower that I want to share with you guys today. It's called Titan arum. This is the world's stinkiest flower. It smells really, really, really bad. So the Latin name is Amorphophallus titanium, also known as corpse flower or bunga bangkai in Bahasa Indonesia, and it's found in central Sumatra. It rarely blossoms because it takes 7 to 10 years to blossom, and when it blooms for 1 to 2 days. You know, I'll play a video clip that will show what people think it smells like. Guys,
I have a question. Who discovered the flower?
that's a good question. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. So unlike Rafflesia arnoldii, there's one person who discovered it and reported it. I couldn't figure it out who discovered Titan arum. Maybe people who live in Sumatra have known this for a long time, and they just tell some scientists. Another hands. Atskia, go ahead.
Why is the flower stinky?
Why is the flower stinky? Okay, that's a very good question.
Thunder, remember, don't spray anything else except for the plants.
Because the flower wants to attract insects. It wants to attract flies to help pollinate the plant. So many flowers, their goal is to attract insects. Some flowers smell nice, but a few flowers smell stinky. But their goal is to attract insects. Right, John, go ahead, John.
My feather's not wet.
Why are the flowers so tall?
Yeah, it grows so tall. It's actually also one of the tallest, if not the tallest flower in the world, because that's how it grows. That's how the flower grows. See, this is a diagram or a picture of how the flower life cycle, how the leaf and also how the flower.
Oh my goodness.
So the leaf has its own cycle, and the flower has its own cycle, and it takes a long, long time for the flowers to grow and to bloom. 7 to 10 years. So you have to be patient. You really have to be patient if you want to see the flowers bloom. Alejandra, do you have a question?
How does it look like when it blooms?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me play a video of that.
The United States Botanic Garden is a verdant sanctuary for congressional staffers playing hooky and for plants of every variety. Pleasantly fragrant, brightly colored, just weird. But arguably the garden's biggest star is the Amorphophallus titanium, also known as the corpse flower. It smells disgusting, like rotting flesh. And when my editor heard it was about to bloom for the first time in years, she came to me with a question.
What in the world? When, why, where? Who's got the answer? Skunk Bear.
Why would a flower smell disgusting?
That's a good question.
Good question.
If you want to imagine how bad the corpse flower smells, consider the notes of its putrid perfume. It starts, like many flowers, with the sweet odor of benzyl alcohol. But then there's trimethylamine, isovaleric acid, and lots of dimethyl trisulfide. Gross. I joined hordes of people who have flocked to the garden to get a whiff. But the corpse flower won't start stinking until it opens, maybe in a few hours, maybe in a few days. It's in no rush. It's been preparing for this moment for 6 years. Most of the time, it looks like an unremarkable tree, but underground, this potato thing, the corn, is stockpiling energy for the big stink. Year after year after year, the leaf sprouts and dies back, and the corn grows bigger and bigger until it's ready to put out a strange new structure. And then comes the moment we've all been waiting for. So how would you describe this scent that we're experiencing right now?
So sort of like an olfactory Rorschach test. I think it smells like dead rodents. A really nasty garbage can that I haven't hosed out for a while. Or like funky rotting cabbage or something.
That big column in the middle actually heats up like a Glade plug-in to help that odor get into the air.
It already lives in steam, so it has to make just a bit more to get it up and out there.
So back to the question, why would a flower spend so much energy to smell this bad?
It wants to be pollinated just like all other flowers.
It all comes back to the birds and the bees. Some flowers seduce pollinators with sticky, sweet nectar, but a lot of insects just aren't into that. They like rotting meat. And they're the pollinators the corpse flower is trying to attract with fleshy colors and putrid aromas. It's a big fly trap.
You see the collar, that's spathe. It's rather slippery and waxy, but that smell is just too enticing. And my gosh, the heat, a warm, stinky, steamy place to go. They investigate. They drop down into the lower parts of the bucket.
This is where the plant's actual flowers are, rows and rows of them. But there's no carcasses to be found. So the insects make their getaway. They crawl up that central column, and along the way, old pollen rubs off and new pollen hitches a ride.
Out they go. They smell the next party down the road and go to pollinate something.
There's another creature that the corpse flower has tricked into spreading its pollen. Because of its stinky charm, humans have helped it expand from its native range in Sumatra to gardens and conservatories around the world.
Hi guys. All right, so I'm back now. I'm trying to answer some questions in the chat because I also want to give some opportunities for answering the questions that some of you wrote in the chat. But now that I'm back, I can call on those who raise their hands. So let me see who raised their hands. Atskia, go ahead. No question from Atskia? Okay, Fatih, go ahead.
Is it the end of the lesson?
Not quite. Almost though.
Anto,
Yeah.
how rare are corpse flowers?
How rare are corpse flowers? That's a good question. Not as rare as the other flower, Rafflesia arnoldii. You can, find them in the jungles. You can also go to botanical gardens such as the United States Botanical Garden or the Chicago.
Why they are mostly found in forests?
Huh? Can you repeat that?
Why are they mostly found in forests?
Because that's their natural home. That's their natural habitat. But the Indonesian government has kindly gifted these flowers to a number of botanical gardens around the world. So you can find, for example, many of them in many botanical gardens in America, but also you can find Titan arum in the botanical garden in Indonesia, such as the Bogor Botanical Garden. So if you haven't got a chance to visit the Bogor Botanical Garden yet, maybe when the pandemic is over and we can all travel again and you go back to Indonesia, you might want to visit the Bogor Botanical Garden. It's not far from Jakarta. And you can find Titan arum in that botanical garden. Questions? Yes. Go ahead, Joanne.
What does the in the middle do?
What does the thing in the middle do? That's a good question. I think it helps the flies that the flower attract to climb back out again. So I think that's what it does. Pati, you have a question? Okay, no.
No, I forgot to lower.
Can you repeat that?
I forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, okay. Amy, yeah, go ahead, Amy. Yes, Amy.
How big can they be?
It can be really, really tall. 12 feet tall, or twice the size of some of the tallest human beings. Okay? So I'm 5'6" feet tall. I should know this in centimeters and in meters. They can be about 2 meters or even higher. Can be really, really tall. Muhammad Iza?
How many cool flowers are there in the entire world?
Oh, how many corpse flower in the entire world? That's a very good question. I don't know. Maybe you want to count. Maybe you want to count them sometime, someday.
The answer is I don't know.
You want to do a survey of that someday. Alejandra?
Is the corpse flower also a parasite like the other flower?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
Is the corpse flower also a parasite?
Oh, okay, that's a very good question. No, the corpse flower is not a parasite. It can grow on its own. That's a very good question. Why? Because I'm glad you were listening. Rafflesia arnoldii, the biggest flower in the world, is a parasite. It cannot grow on its own. It lives off of another plant. But Titan arum or bunga bangkai grows on its own. Very good question. I also want to mention and advertise another botanical garden. This one is located in Bedugul in Bali. So when you get a chance to visit Indonesia again, you might want to visit some botanical gardens that are located in our country. One in Bogor, the other one in Bedugul, and I'm sure there are a few more that you can visit as well. Now, let's see how much you learned today. Do you guys want to play a game of Kahoot?
Yeah!
Okay, let's play. All right.
Yes, Kahoot! Yes, Kahoot! No. Kahoot!
What is it again?
Okay. So let me get the Kahoot ready, okay? Hold on a second. Let's get the Kahoot ready.
Nagila mau pakai
Kahoot.
Nagila ini pertanyaannya nanti.
Okay, I have Kahoot.
Siapa mau jawab sama Mami?
Where's the Kahoot?
Where's the Kahoot ID?
Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. I'll share it with you, okay? Just be patient. So the ID is, let me write it down.
1800 F.
Ya udah Nagila. Habis ini. Nanti.
That's the ID. Okay?
Ini masih dong.
Go to kahoot.it. Kahoot.it.
Can you put the link to Kahoot?
Yes. It will be kahoot.it. Hold on.
I found my name.
All right, I'm seeing that some of you are joining. Good.
Hello there.
All right. Has everybody joined?
Yes. Nope,
Not
nope.
yet.
No,
Still
not
loading.
yet.
I'm gonna give a few minutes. Okay.
There's so many. Yeah, even more than
Mine is taking too
in
long.
my 4BAA.
All right, can I start Kahoot?
No! 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 No!
Yes.
Not yet!
No, do not start it yet.
Not yet! Don't! No!
Omar, do you have a question, Omar?
Somebody copied my name.
Oh, somebody copy your name. Well, you can use another name. Omar Elnu. Omar Elnu. You can use
And your name is another.
What is the game PIN again?
The game pin is 2721151.
Let me see, because when I typed that in, 2,
7, 2, 1, 1, 5, 1. Help in this because who cares? No space. Are you gonna count this one?
All right. So, is everyone ready?
No!
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 Not yet. I
Wait.
cannot log in.
This meeting now? Okay, I am.
No space. And now I get to see the podium. Get out of the podium. I don't see him.
All right. We have 36 participants. Is anyone still joining?
Berapa kali harus semuanya di meja? Gimana sih?
Okay, can I start?
Yeah!
No! Yeah! Gak bisa. No,
Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay, I will wait for you.
I'm just
Gak
gonna wait
bisa,
for
aku
one.
gak bisa.
Go to kahoot.it.
Aku gak bisa.
Kahoot.it and enter
Aku gak
the.
bisa ke Kahootnya.
It's okay if you can't participate right now. It's okay. Don't worry. Okay. This is a learning session. Okay. So just write your answers down on a piece of paper. See if you get them right. Okay? All right. So I'm going to start Kahoot game right now. You guys ready?
Yeah!
Yes. Not yet.
All right, good job. It's false. How many groups did Alfred Wallace propose? Indonesia's flora and fauna? Two, not three. Two, not three. Okay, so it's false. All right, ready for the next one? Go ahead.
Yeah!
Whoa, congratulations, India. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're the first.
Okay, never mind.
Which is not a bird of paradise.
Okay then.
I'll just say green. I'm wrong. I know this is gonna be wrong. Do not say your answer when you already pick it. It might be right. And then after that, you'll tell everybody.
Yeah!
Yay! Many of
Or
you.
not.
Black sticklebill is a bird of paradise.
Master.
Yay! And India wins again. Congratulations. All right.
It's okay.
True false.
I'll just this time I'll give you a prehistoric animal.
I'll give you a clue. Don't you dare say a clue. I said nothing.
Well done. Well done. Many of you got the answer correctly. Yes, some Komodo dragons can climb trees. All right, let's see. Wow, Nindya again. Congratulations also to Gaida, Christian, Fatih, and my 2 daughters.
What? How many species of orangutans that you know? What species?
Yes, 3 species. Many of you got it correctly.
What are species?
Not bad, not bad. Congratulations to the top 5.
India again.
India is on the roll. All right, the last question, okay? The last question. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Here you go.
What is the Indonesian name of? I'll give you a clue.
I'm scared. I just picked it random.
It's bunga padma, not bunga bangkai. Bunga bangkai is Titan arum. Titan bunga bangkai. Rafflesia arnoldii, the largest flower, is bunga padma.
I got it correct. 24.
Okay. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much. I'm now going to turn it over again to Miss Wilza.
Yes, hello. So how was it? It was
Good.
nice, right? It was so interesting. So we have so many flora and fauna in Indonesia. We are a rich country with so many various flora and fauna. Anyway, so thank you so much, Professor Anto.